And do not kill anyone which Allah has forbidden, except for a just cause. It follows that Allah has prohibited taking innocent souls without a just cause. He, the Exalted, also said, "And come not near to the unlawful sexual intercourse. Verily, it is a transgression of limits and an evil way." He said, "Come not near it, that is, abstain from it, and abstain from whatever leads to it, such as gazing, being at seclusion with strange people from the opposite sex." Allah the Exalted also said, "Whereas Allah has permitted trading and forbidden usury, so it clearly states the prohibition of usury. Therefore, whatever Allah or His Messenger expressly declares as permissible is taken, and whatever they declare as prohibited must be eschewed. And there is no place for hesitation except for the one with perversion and delusion in his heart." He said, "But between these are ambiguous matters, that is, there are ambiguous matters between the lawful and the unlawful, which are not easily figured out to be from the lawful or the prohibited. This is because the evidences regarding them could be pulled in different directions. Some show that they are lawful, and others show that they are unlawful. The scholars differ about it. Some ruled for its permissibility, and others ruled its being prohibited, because each of them gave preponderance to certain aspects of the evidences. So this is ambiguous. It is not easily figured out whether it is lawful or prohibited. Such things will be left out of caution and avoidance until the matter becomes clear. If it becomes clear in the end that it is prohibited, then it is certainly eschewed. But if it becomes clear that it is permitted, then it is taken. However, whatever is not clear is considered ambiguous. Caution and abstention requires that such is avoided." He said, "Not known by many of the people, because the majority of the people are ignorant. They do not know the methods of legal deductions, giving preponderance to evidence, and the forms of evidences and evidencing. So his saying, 'not known by many of the people,' is evidence that only few of the people know them, and they are those well grounded in knowledge. They know whether these ambiguous matters are from the permissible or prohibited matters, and that is through what Allah has bestowed on them of knowledge and understanding, the knowledge of the foundations of evidencing and giving preponderance to evidences. Therefore, if it becomes clear to anyone of them that a thing is lawful, he acts upon it, and to whomever it becomes clear that it is prohibited, he refrains from it, and to whomever the matter appears ambiguous, he abstains from it. This is the correct position regarding ambiguous matters. Things are either stated to be required with threat before it's been abandoned, or stated to be abandoned with threat for it's been done, or none of them both is stated. The first is clearly lawful matter, the second is the clearly unlawful matter. So the meaning of his saying that which is lawful is clear, its explanation is not needed, since everyone knows it, and the third is ambiguous because it is obscure, so it is not known whether it is lawful or prohibited. Whatever is in this category, the third should be abandoned, because if it is actually prohibited, one would have fulfilled his responsibility of having to abstain from it, and if it is actually permissible, he would have been rewarded for leaving it for this intention. Consequently, he said, so whoever refrains from the ambiguous matters, that is, who places a shield between himself and the matter by abstaining. He has protected his religion and honor. He has guarded his religion from being touched by the prohibited, and has safeguarded his honor from being blemished by the people. Whoever refrains from ambiguous matters will attain these two traits. Protection of religion, that is, its purity and safety, sound reputation. These two great attributes will require that one is not hasty in affairs until they really become clear. If he sees people differing about it, this gives the verdict that it is lawful, and the other rules that it is prohibited. He pauses and refrains from it because the difference of opinion of the matter is evidence that it is ambiguous. He said, but anyone who gets into the ambiguous matters soon gets caught in the unlawful ones. If you are mild with ambiguous matters and act upon them, and say, as long as there is difference of opinion about them, then they are permissible, it will make you fall into the prohibited matters. This is because if you are indulgent regarding ambiguous matters, you will soon get caught in clearly unlawful matters, and this is very dangerous. So if a person is mild regarding the matters upon which there is difference, he soon ventures into what is prohibited by consensus, and has left his religion and honor unprotected. This is from the inadequacies of the people. Nowadays, some of them would say, as long as there is difference of opinion on it, there is no blame on me if I act upon any of the positions I choose. We say, no, you should rather find out what is permissible, because this action of yours could make you fall into something prohibited, and you would not have protected your religion and honor, while the difference of opinion does not justify your falling into the prohibited. If one wants to pass through a road about which he is not sure whether it is safe and secure from highways, robbers, or wild animals or not, he avoids it due to his being uncertain about it, and the most probable thing, anyway, is that it is not safe. This is regarding a worldly affair. How about the matter of the religion, which is even greater? This hadith contains affirmation for abstention and caution, and that it is necessary that one takes to abstention and caution, because they are safer for him and more distancing from lapses. Then the Prophet gave an illustration of the one who gets into ambiguous matters, that he soon gets caught in the unlawful matters. He said, like the shepherd, one who tends sheep, who paces around the sanctuary, something that is consecrated. It was the practice of the Arab tribes that they would consecrate a fertile land, and no one dares it, so that it becomes exclusive to them for their livestock. So when a shepherd paces his sheep around this sanctuary, he is unable to prevent some of his sheep from entering it into that sanctuary. Perhaps one or more will escape into it, and he faces the retribution of the owner of the sanctuary. But the clever amongst them is the one who is cautious in his affairs and grazes his herd far away from the sanctuary. Thus, as the shepherd may not be able to prevent his sheep from getting into the sanctuary, so it is that one may be unable to prevent himself falling into the unlawful if he gets drawn into ambiguous matters. This is a very clear and real illustration which points to the obligation of refraining from ambiguous matters so that one does not get caught in the unlawful ones. Then at the end of the hadith he explained what makes a person abstemious and cautious regarding ambiguous matters. He shielded him, and a thing that unauthorized should not be neared, and I made it a sanctuary, and in the hadith says sanctuaries are only for Allah and His Messenger.